What's up, everybody? It's Michael over here at Game Changerz, and this is Retro Game Scene. It's our cool, interesting show where we're chatting with cool and interesting people in the local gaming community. Today's guest is Camden Boyd. He's the owner of Retro Game Wolf. How's it going, Camden?
You know, it's not too bad today.
Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. I'm glad you made it out today. So tell us a little bit about your game store. What do you do?
Well, what do you want to know?
Okay, well, first off, where are you guys located, and what kind of stuff do you guys sell?
So we're on the border of Taylorsville and West Jordan. Technically, we're pretty close to Midvale and Murray, too. We sell board games, video games, plushies, a lot of movies, weirdly enough.
Movies, okay. So, like, kind of similar to, like, FYE, then?
A little bit.
Okay, right on, man. And then if you had to say, like, what percentage of your stuff is retro video games, what percentage do you think that would be?
It's a pretty decent amount of our collection. The board games do take up a lot of space, so it looks like it's half and half, but it is significantly more towards that retro game side. And
Awesome.
Our sales match that as well.
Makes sense to me, man. I've been to your store a few times now, and from what I understand, even the board games that you sell, you have a lot of like retro and pre-owned board games as well, right?
Yeah, that's kind of our goal, is to make it so we only really carry things that you can't just buy at Walmart.
Gotcha. So you're not carrying like the new sealed like Exploding Kittens or whatever, like you've
Not
got.
generally.
Okay.
I mean, that one specifically is pretty popular, so we will carry things like that. If we manage to find it, things like, I'm trying to think of Catan.
Okay. Catan is super popular out here in Utah.
It's super popular. But I will never touch Clue, Monopoly, anything that is like that that's just normal.
What if it was like Zelda Clue?
Now, we do carry stuff like that.
Okay.
But none of the original stuff.
Okay.
People do try really hard to sell it to us, though.
Oh, I imagine so. I mean, is it difficult to tell people no whenever they want to sell you something that's not really good for you?
It can be. It's getting a little bit easier. It's hard to tell myself no on buying things outside of the store, though.
No, that's fair, man. And I know you guys do a little bit of laser discs too, right?
We do. We have probably the biggest collection in the state.
Nice.
Not very hard to do, unfortunately. But
As far as a store goes, yeah, there aren't very many stores that have them at all, really.
no, and there's good reason for that.
They're niche, but man, they're cool.
Honestly, the quality is really great. I really like it, but
It's better than VHS, but it's definitely
Yeah.
worse than DVD.
it's true. It is unfortunate that more people aren't interested in them. We do sell a lot of players, though.
Oh, that's awesome. I have a Laserdisc collection at home, and I don't know how it happened, but I ended up collecting like probably like 200 or 300 movies and TV shows that I don't even know, like I don't care about at all. I think people found out that I was collecting Laserdiscs, and they're just like, here, take these. And now I don't know what to do with some of them. But I do actively collect anime on Laserdisc because the artwork on those is amazing. Like just because they're vinyl
so
record
neat.
sized. Yeah. And
They're really hard to find, too, and they're very expensive.
the American versions with like the English dub are very hard to get. However, in Japan, if you get them without subtitles, at one point I got the entire complete box set of Cardcaptor Sakura for like $50.
That's pretty good.
I was really stoked about that. And then it took my entire carry-on to bring that thing home, though.
Oh, man.
I couldn't put it in the checked bags because it was too heavy. So I put it in the carry-on because they don't weigh those. They don't check it.
That's awful.
Oh, what do you do? Oh, man. So if you had to pick like a favorite part of your store or a favorite part of running a store, what would you say that is?
It's really hard. It's also hard to figure out what to sell. We've been in a couple different spots, and things sell very differently depending on where we're at.
This is your third location, right?
This is the fourth spot we've been
Fourth
in, actually.
spot. Oh, man. You want to give us the rundown about like the whole history there? Like you started in Provo, right?
We did. We did pretty well there. And I did a lot of research to get to Provo. I knew that Provo was going to be great. And I was dumb, and I thought I could do better on my own. So I moved out into a pretty bad spot. We were in an industrial area in an office complex.
Oh. for a retail store, that you're not going to get a lot of foot traffic there.
There was not any visibility. It was on the same street as DVD Game Exchange, and they have a lot more money and power than I do.
You were on the same street as them? Oh, yeah, they're pretty established down there.
We
That's
were
their
a
main
mile
area.
away from them on the opposite side of I-15.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I think I know about where that's at. Okay. I never stopped by that location. I did stop by when you were in the mall, and then I've been to your current location, but then I haven't been to, I didn't even know you had that second one. And then the third one was out at the outlets, right?
Right. And that second one, we were not there very long. Same with the outlet mall. The second one, we knew right away that was not going to work. We had like 600 square feet. It was pretty cramped.
Oh, wow.
We had to have a storage unit for things. Storage unit felt like it was about as big as a store.
Oh, my gosh.
It looked great because there's not much to have to make look pretty.
That's true. It's easy to decorate 600 square feet. But
yeah, I mean, it looked way better than the Provo spot. Honestly, I have no idea why people gave us money. It looked horrible.
Really? Okay. Just had a hard time filling it out properly, or like keeping on top
we didn't
of
know
it?
what we were doing. We make stuff up as we go.
I mean,
and
it
it's
was your
fun,
first time, right?
But yeah. No, I mean, I didn't ever have the ability to have any kind of leadership positions before I decided to own a business. So everything has been a learning experience, and there's not really a guidebook on how to do things.
There are a lot of like self-help books and like start your own business books, and a lot of them have bad advice.
Oh my gosh, they're awful.
So many have bad advice. There are like some like general self-help books that I think are useful. Like I think Rich Dad Poor Dad's pretty good. Like The Habits of Successful People is a pretty good one. But
yeah, the 7 hat.
I've never read it. I've just everybody that I've talked to who has read it has drink the Kool-Aid on that. So yeah, like Rich Dad Poor Dad I listened to on audiobook when I was in like high school, and I remember thinking, whoa, this is blowing my mind. And I listen back to it now, and it's like, it's okay. it's good, but it's not as good as I thought it was as a teenager.
Right.
And I don't really do the whole like reading for self-help kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'll just go out and make mistakes, get messy, and figure it out as I go.
I mean, that is the best way to learn.
I feel like
it can be a very expensive way to learn, and we have learned that the hard way.
I feel like the more painful a lesson is, the more likely it is to stick with you, though.
Right. I mean, Provo, we were there for a year. Like I said, we did pretty well, but I was kind of sick of people telling us that the mall was dying multiple times a day.
Like customers would come in and say that?
Yeah.
Oh, gnarly, man. And were you in the same spot that Mario's had been in before they left?
We were right next to it.
Okay.
Right now it's being used as an office space for some reason. That mall is pretty much dead now.
So maybe the customers were right, but it's still rude to say that to one of the stores in there.
I mean, we were doing great. I mean, our store, along with the other kind of like nerdy stores out there, were the only reasons why anyone was going in the mall anymore.
Yeah, I think there was there was a GameStop in there, and then there was a place that was selling Warhammer stuff, but they ended up leaving too, I think.
Yeah, so we've got in there right now, there's Nerdy Wolf and let's see, We Geek Together.
Okay.
And so people have been pretty supportive of those businesses. They're able to run a lot of events. I never know how anybody magics themselves with more money to do any of this stuff, but
I think it's all just
one day
you have to. I've been through in my history with Game Changers. I've been through a lot of like, oh crap, we're broke. How are we going to make it moments? And you just have to keep. I mean, like I'm going to say it like I know what I'm talking about, but I only have my one experience. But in my experience, it's all about not giving up and finding a way every time a crisis comes up to put that fire out and keep going. And then eventually the fires start popping up less and you start figuring out what you're doing.
Right. And I mean, you kind of have to BS it.
Yeah, a little bit at first.
You definitely have to pretend that everything is fine, because otherwise you do actually lose some customers.
Well, you don't want to, you don't ever want your customers to think that you're going under. That's not good.
No.
Because that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If at the moment that word on the street is you're going under, it makes it happen.
Lehigh was kind of scary because, I mean, we were doing okay. They made us buy completely new signage.
They like forced you to?
Yeah. So they made us buy totally new signage. We had to pay like $2,000 for new signs that were kind of cruddy.
Yeah.
But everybody else had them. They wouldn't let us use a white background. So right now we still have those signs.
Because you don't want to throw them out. They were $2,000.
Right. And so we're currently using the big one right now. And that's why it's got this really gross background instead of white. They refuse to let us use white.
Oh, where it almost looks like kind of rusty?
Yeah, like that weird gray, brown.
Oh, I thought that was a choice.
It was not a great choice.
Okay.
But yeah, they would not let us use white.
Okay.
I wanted to use white. We use white on everything else.
Yeah, your website's got a white background with that logo on it. So, I mean, that makes sense. Interesting that they forced you to do that.
Yeah, a lot of other stores had white too. So I'm not really sure why they decided that we didn't get to do white.
I remember when you were at the outlets, there was a little bit of, because I was watching your social media at the time, there was a lot of like, it kind of almost felt like fighting between you and the mall. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. So the rent was really expensive for what we were getting. We were put in a spot where people, like stores never really were ever on that edge of the mall. It's the only spot where there's not a parking lot adjacent to it.
Were you in the mall?
So the outlets are outside.
Is it like a strip mall?
So it's kind of like a strip mall, but it's walking inside of everything. So there's parking on three sides, but we were on the one side that didn't have any parking next to it.
Is it kind of like the Gateway where it's like got a road through it?
Kind of.
Okay.
But there's not a road through it.
Or like Gardner Village type of deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically a mall without a roof.
Oh, neat.
But they did. I tried to negotiate out a rent. Didn't work out very well. But I did see in storage that they had a ton of display cases. So I borrowed all of their display cases because I knew that they didn't want to have to store them.
Okay. Well,
and that was a decent compromise.
It's a good way to get some display cases. Those things are not cheap to buy new.
No, absolutely not. And they were decent quality, and we got to choose how many we used. So we had like 7 display cases in there.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we were able to make it look okay. And we were doing all right with sales, but we were paying a lot more than we've ever paid for another space. About $600 more a month than we're paying right now. Well, we didn't have a back room either, so we just had to use this room divider. It looked really junky.
Yeah, isn't your current space a lot bigger than the previous one?
It's about the same, actually.
Oh, okay.
But you know, we have back rooms.
Right, and $600 less a month, and you're right on Redwood, so you get lots of traffic.
A huge amount of visibility.
You can't drive down Redwood without seeing your sign. It's freaking huge.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it is big, and we want to make it bigger.
That'd be cool.
So eventually, we will get rid of this giant 10x4 sign. I don't know where we're gonna put it,
and just get a even bigger than that.
And it's gonna have a white background.
That's the way, man. I love it. So tell us a little bit about what makes your store special or different than some of the other stores. Because there's, I think, from Orem to Ogden in the Valley, there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 stores that do retro games or like board games and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of stores. A lot smaller actually than most states. I had to do, because we moved a couple times, I have had to document where every video game store is in the state. So I do have a list on Google Maps.
Okay.
I think it's even publicly available, which is really neat. So you can see everything in here. You can see where some of these dead areas are. And so we spend a lot of time trying to find places where they have a video game store drought. They just don't have anywhere they can go. And we want to provide a place where they can have a spot to go to.
Gotcha. So when you picked your current location, you kind of looked at the map and were like, here's an unclaimed space, basically.
Right. And I mean, DVD Game Exchange had closed their location like 6 months earlier, just half a mile down the street. So
yeah, they were also on Redwood. And then a little bit.
Their spot was kind of terrible, though.
It was right next to the toy shop owned by Pawn Stars guys, though, I think, the Rogue Toys.
Yeah.
And so I think they were really kind of hoping that would bring some of the collector crowd their way. But from what I understand, there was a long period of time where they were struggling to keep staff in there just because they didn't have enough people to go around.
No, and I mean, I definitely don't have that problem. People fight to work for me.
I love that.
Which is pretty great. We usually have about 80 applicants for one position.
Nice.
So it is very competitive, but I wish I could pay more.
No, I feel that. You got to start with what you can, right? Because payroll is a very big expense.
It is a huge expense for us.
The more you can do by yourself, the less you can pay in payroll, and the easier it is to get to a point where you're profitable enough that you can actually start paying people well. I am always just like running full speed trying to get one thing done after another, because the more stuff that I hire somebody to do, the more expensive it is to run the store. And even right now, even where I'm at right now with I've got 2 full-time guys running the front of the store and 2 full-time guys just focusing on repairs. And even that, it's like every month, like more than half of our revenue goes to payroll. More than half, quite a bit more than half, actually.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably about 20%, 25, somewhere around there. That's what I try to budget, at least, is 25%.
That's a good number to aim for.
But I've only got like 40 hours a week that I'm giving out to everyone total.
Gotcha. So they're all part-time then.
Yeah, so everyone's part-time, and I try to keep it that way because it's really easy to burn out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've burnt out plenty of times.
Oh, my gosh. I'm kind of burnt out right now, but...
Oh, man. Well, tell me about that, man. What are some of the pain points with running a store like yours?
We have a wonderful problem of too much stuff.
That does sound like a good problem to have.
Yeah, and it's a problem that a lot of game stores have, but they're better at hiding it. They've got their storage units. They've got offices that they're hiding stuff in. They've got a lot more spaces that they can work with, but we've always been the guys that use what little money we can to help prop everything up and provide a decent experience for our customers. So, we don't have that. It's kind of visible in the store right now. We want to make it not visible in the store right now.
Okay. Well,
we do have some pretty big sales that we do throughout the year so that we can help clearance some things out. And I mean, it's not like they're not selling. We just get a lot more than we sell.
Have you ever considered just setting purchase limits on certain consoles? Because we've thought about Xbox 360 games under $10, maybe even just passing on them. There was a period of time where we were just like, I can only take these ones. I can't take these ones. What do you think about that kind of strategy?
It's super, super tricky. You have to balance it. I try to avoid turning off trades as much as I can. There are absolutely people that are like, I would never even do trade-ins if I had a store. I can get them through other means. But, it's really important for customers, and we're in a lower income area. So this is helping people pay their rent.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's easy to take advantage of that, but I can't. I will always pay out as much as I can. I want to help people. And I just don't feel good about turning that off because I know that people need to be able to live. But also, if I turn it off, people will stop coming to me because they know that they can't sell to me, or that they won't get as much, or whatever, because I don't take everything that they buy, that they try to sell. Maybe they will go to another store that might. And so we take that risk, and we do get a lot of great things because we do that. We're able to get in Pokemon pretty consistently.
Do you think it's basically just paying the toll, you have to take in a certain number of crappy overstock things that you don't want in order to get the good stuff to keep coming in?
I mean, don't get me wrong. We will pay accordingly. If I know it's not going to sell, I'm not going to give you as much of a percentage as something that I know everyone wants.
Yeah. One thing that we ran into a lot in our Orem location back when we still had one down there,
right,
was people going to DI and Savers and any of the other
and just
thrift
flipping
shops.
It.
Well, yeah, they would buy AV cables and broken controllers and copies of every Madden on the PS2. And they would come in and they would trade it in for store credit. And at that time, we had a very firm, like, we give this percentage no matter what it is policy, right? And so they would come in and they would build up like hundreds of dollars in store credit.
And then just buy out expensive things like your consoles,
right?
It
was really hard to keep anything worth mentioning in the store. We get a Kirby Air Ride in, it's gone within 5 seconds. And then they're in our parking lot. We were watching them on their phone, taking a picture of the Kirby Air Ride, and then 5 minutes later, it's on Facebook Marketplace,
I know, it's crazy.
They're just there to sell it. And so in our Salt Lake location, we've had to kind of change our strategy a little bit.
Absolutely.
So now whenever something we know is going to sell really well for us, it's going to sell fast, or it's stuff that we know like people have been asking for, we give a much higher percentage for that stuff. And if it's stuff that I have 10 copies of, like Skyrim on PS3, I will either tell them, hey, I've got 10 of these, I can't take any more, or say like, hey, these ones are overstocked, we just finished a buy one, get one on these, I can't give you very much for it, and then give them a lower number for those.
Right.
And that it's a little bit more of a dance, it's a little bit more of an art, but I feel like we've been able to make it work for us at least.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're in a spot where prices are finally going down. The bubble is popping. So now people can actually start to afford to buy some of these things.
Yeah, inflation's starting to get a little bit better. I think housing prices have stopped getting as crazy as they were. So that's good.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed that the rents don't double after I, record this before I post it.
Oh my gosh, honestly.
You never know.
You really don't.
Right on, man. Well, so you're at your fourth location now. What would you say have been like the biggest lessons you've learned along the way?
Yeah, obviously we found out a lot. It's difficult because like there really isn't a strategy guide that works. All of these books, the way that those books work is people are just talking about what was successful for them. And while that is nice and there are some things you can pull from it, that's not how business works.
There's too many variables, right?
There's too many different things. You can't just make a cookie cutter profit business. It's just not how that works. Otherwise, there would be a lot more people doing it.
That's true. That's true. If it was easy enough to just copy and paste a formula, then there would be a lot of identical stores around.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of how it is for everything. But obviously, we found out location is super important, as well as visibility.
Yes.
We wanted to be in a place where the people that shop are around. We didn't want to be in a place where, it was higher income or an older audience, because those kind of people, for whatever reason, aren't as interested in gaming.
That's fair.
Retro gaming is kind of a poor man's hobby.
I think especially when it comes to like the CD and DVD based retro games, so like PlayStation through PS3, original Xbox 360, a lot of those games are like really solid bangers for under $10, and I think that's really appealing
absolutely.
For people who are trying to like still physically own their games, right? But not break the bank doing it. So I think
it's really nice, and being able to have something where I can have a lot of fun for 40 hours for $5.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that goes so much further.
Oh, absolutely. One of
these things,
One thing I love saying to people whenever they, they spend $15 and they get 2 or 3 games, right? And I love saying, you're going to have a lot more fun with these than you would with that $15 at a bar.
Right.
It'll last you 5 minutes at a bar.
It'll be a lot less. You'll regret it a lot less, I think.
Yes. You don't get video game hangovers as easily. It's a lot harder.
True.
A lot harder to do. Speaking of video games, I brought one today that I wanted to share with you. This is called Gimmick. It's for the Famicom, and it is let's see if I can get it to focus on it. Look at my Gimmick. This is the crown jewel of my collection, and by collection, I mean the very small number of games that I allow myself to still keep
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't want to rob my store,
Right.
so I had to trim it down and stop collecting.
It's so hard to balance because you want to keep all of these things, but
Right.
they're expensive, and at the end of the day, you can just sell it and immediately get money.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, you don't ever want to be the store that never has the good stuff because you're
Right.
taking it all home. So, yeah, but I'm never letting this guy go. This guy is mine forever. But have you ever heard of this one before?
Not before you mentioned it to me earlier. No.
Well, I am excited to show it to you because it is I would say it's my favorite Famicom game. It's one of the best games ever made. So let's fire this bad boy up here. All right. Do you want to hit that red button over on the front right there? Yeah, Gimmick. I love this freaking soundtrack. It's so full of bangers.
It's so great.
All right. And let's let the intro play for everybody. For anybody who hasn't seen this game before, it's adorable. It came out in 92, so it was one of the last Famicom games back. I think the Super Famicom was already out when this one launched. And, cute little girl gets a birthday present, and there he is. And so they called this game Gimmick because of a translation issue. The guy's name is not Gimmick. It got released in Scandinavia, so like Norway and Sweden, as Mr. Gimmick. And they totally Mega Man'd the cover art. It's really bad.
Oh, no.
They gave him a weird face and everything. But
Yeah, those NES covers are
it's
an
gnarly.
adventure.
But the reason they called it Gimmick is because the game has a bunch of little moments where it's like, oh crap, I didn't see that coming, or oh, what, that was a trap. They got me with that one, right? And they were trying to find a good English word for that, and they thought Gimmick would match that, but really it's more like tricks and traps is kind
Right.
of what they meant. And so, yeah, all of the stuffed animals got jealous that she got the new stuffed animal, and they kidnapped her in the night. So now you got to go save her.
That's a really twisted version of Toy Story. Okay.
Basically, yeah. All right, go ahead and give her a shot. Tell me what you think. You could tell he's definitely inspired a little bit by Mega Man. Whenever you jump, he does the exact same pose with his mouth open and his hand up and everything. And you hold B to charge up your star, and then once it's there, you can let go to launch it.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't it? And this game has a really cool physics engine built in. So whenever you're climbing uphill, you go slower. When you're going downhill, you go faster. And you can use that to actually build up momentum and kind of jump and launch yourself across stuff. And you can ride on top of your star, which I think is friggin' awesome. It does, just like Mega Man, the spikes kill you, and you explode in the exact same way as Mega Man.
No!
See what I mean? It looks just like Mega Man. But I think, honestly,
Bruh.
I like this game better.
This is fun. I really like this, even though I suck at video games.
Well, and sadly, this one is notorious for being difficult. So if at some point you want to tap out and I can showcase some bits to you if you'd like, but
This is super neat.
I definitely want you to give it your best shot first.
That was on me. That was just brain dead effort.
Getting a little hasty.
Oh,
See, that's one of those
Okay.
gimmicks that they were talking about, though. So, whenever you get a game over and you use a continue, it deletes all of your quote unquote secret items that you've gotten so far. So, if you want to get the good ending in the game, you have to beat the last level with all the secret items to unlock the secret level that has the final boss. You haven't gotten the secret item in this level. It was in that first area up top. Do you want to see if you can figure out where it might be? And while you're doing that, I'm also going to harass you by asking you questions about your store. So that's where the secret item was. You just missed it.
yeah. I tried to grab it, but
There's a little secret ledge. I can't go back now.
yeah.
I think you can go back from here, though, if you go back up that pipe. There you go. So up there on the right, you see that little notch over there?
Yeah.
See if you can figure out how to get on there.
Actually have to try to play video games.
I know, right? I'll give you a hint.
That's the part that sucks about owning a video game store. Everyone expects you to know what all of the games are.
And how to play all of them.
Exactly. And, at the end of the day, you don't get much time to actually play video games.
No, that's true. I've played substantially fewer games since I bought a store than before. So for that ledge, I generally, whenever I let my friends play this game, I always have them show me how they figure out how to get up there, let them figure it out on their own. And I think out of 10 people that I've had play this, who hadn't already heard of it, I've seen 7 different ways to get up there. Everybody comes up with their own different way to do it. Okay. So
what are these potions for?
So the items you have down there, you can press down on the D-pad.
Why did I do that?
You can press down on the D-pad to switch between them, and then you hold up and press B to use them. So the ones that you have right now are called Kantsudan, which means like go through bullet. So they go through everything. They just go across the screen, nothing can stop them, and they do damage.
Interesting.
If you hit this first guy with your star before jumping on anybody, he'll drop a potion too, which you can then use to regain your health. There you go. So those can you see how you have like kind of like a pink flashing light down at the bottom?
Yeah.
So that's your health right now. You start off with 2 max health. Every time you get hit, you lose 1. And then there's yellow potions, 2 yellow potions in every map, and they increase your maximum health and heal you all the way.
How do you use it? Because there's not very many buttons on it.
It would just be holding up and pressing B, but I wouldn't recommend using it right now. I would kill that guy with your star.
I died anyway.
Hit that star. There you go. So if you can, try to... yeah, and it bounces weird too, so that takes a little getting used to. That yellow potion right there is the one that gives you an extra little blip on your life bar.
Oh.
There you go. That's a lot of those guys. So, can you figure out a way to get up on that ledge?
Oh my gosh. No.
Well, one thing I've seen people do is ride on that guy or ride on their star. But riding on your star takes a little bit of practice.
I'm wondering where it goes. Nowhere, apparently.
Oh, careful. That's a cannon.
It is.
All right, so did you grow up playing video games as a kid? Was that something that you, it was like part of your childhood?
You know, I did play a little bit. I've always just played the most unconventional games because I've been weird.
What are some examples?
I mostly play mystery, and that's what I collect as well.
Okay, like the Professor Layton and
Phoenix Wright. Nancy Drews are actually pretty good.
The Nancy Drew games are awesome. I love those games.
I hate that it's her interactive. I'm asking for boy power at this point.
Yeah, there's some games that like Hotel Dusk is a good example.
Ooh, I haven't played it yet.
It's
I
hard.
own it.
Yeah. It's a tricky one.
Did they ever remaster it?
I don't think so. I think it's DS exclusive. I don't think there's been
Touch
a remaster.
Detective is pretty fun. It's
That's a
very
good one.
cute. They just remastered it and released the last game that was Japanese exclusive onto Switch last year.
Okay.
There's also, let's see, I'm trying to think of what the name is. Trace Memory.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one.
That one got remastered as well with the Japanese exclusive sequel.
Is there an anime
on
for that
Switch.
one?
I'm not sure.
I feel like it's ringing a bell, but I'm not 100%.
Technically, there's an anime for Phoenix Wright, but it's basically just the cutscenes of the game plus like one extra.
Isn't there also like a stage play for Phoenix Wright?
Oh my gosh! So there is a musical.
There's a musical.
There is an official musical.
That's awesome.
And the soundtrack is absolutely incredible.
Is it similar to the
but
game
it's
soundtrack?
Japanese exclusive. It's
of course.
only in Japanese. You can find it on YouTube, however.
Do they have subtitles?
Yes.
Nice.
So I was able to understand the whole thing because I can't speak Japanese. I took 2 years of Chinese, but that doesn't help me.
Not at all.
I do recognize some of the characters, and some of them are nice enough to be the same, but
But there's some of them that like
the actual like phrases are totally different. So even though the characters are the same, it doesn't matter.
I think Chinese grammar is very similar to English grammar, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
And no?
Like sentence structure anyway is like vastly different.
Okay. Because I know in Japanese it's subject, object, verb. So like I video games play.
Basically the same kind of deal.
Okay.
It is very complicated very quickly.
Fair enough. Well, and speaking it and reading it are two completely different things.
They really are. And the unfortunate thing about character languages is that it's just a lot of memorization. Sometimes you can use the characters to figure out what the words are because at the end of the day, they're supposed to be pictures of what the words are.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. I mean,
sometimes they're very much not.
Simplified versions of a picture of what somebody thought it looked like 3,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, something like that. Because some of those writing systems are ancient.
Oh, they're so old. And I mean, weirdly enough, Mandarin is the world's highest spoken language.
Well, that's not
even
super weird.
Over English, which...
Well, I mean, there's a ton of people in China. It's a huge country.
It's true. And there are other countries that use Chinese as their main language too.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I mean, do we count Taiwan? Are we allowed to even say Taiwan?
I mean, I count Taiwan. Taiwan is a country to me, but...
Yeah, I remember during the Olympics, they called it Chinese Taipei.
Oh my gosh.
They just went out of their way. Okay, so then what can you... Because I know, like, most Southeast Asian countries, they all have their own languages for the most part. I know Japanese and Korean are both heavily influenced from Chinese. They're kind of like descendant, right?
Yeah, everything kind of.
Oh, it's kicking you in the teeth.
Chinese. Yeah, no, it hates me.
Okay, let me get you to the next level.
bad.
I'll let you try level 2. I'll scoot you past. Let's see if we can show you. I'm going to show you how I get up into that secret area too. So as a general rule, I like to always pull my star out. It's a habit. Oops, bounced that wrong. I talk big, and then I'm going to make an absolute ass of myself.
That's usually how it goes, though.
Sounds about right. So I like to throw the star to the right here, and then just wait like a quarter of a second, and then jump up. And then this one, you really got to get all the way to the edge, or you'll fall down, and the dudes have a chance to kill you again. Except if you kill these guys before you go up there, all the ones that you killed don't come back. The ones that you left there are still there. It stores it in memory. Yeah. A lot of games.
It's pretty impressive.
A lot of games don't have the attention to detail that this one does. It's really like its main selling point. And there we go, secret item. It's
that's cool.
A little morning glory, and then just to speed run my way back. Whee. There we go. And then down here, I'm just gonna try not to die. Ooh, that was close.
It's the annoying thing. It always looks so much easier.
My kid doesn't like when I kill the worm because the worm is harmless. But I need them points because you get extra lives based on points. This guy, you can actually cheat him a little bit. Just push him over and he'll fall down that little hill. And every now and then, these fish are only in this screen. They made them, they animated them all just for this one section.
That's so neat.
And it's only here for just a little bit, and then boop, there, you never see them again. And then here's one of those gimmicks where it tries to drop you out. Oh,
Man,
God.
some of these things feel very much like frame perfect.
They're not. It's deceptive. It looks harder than it is. You do have to press small jumps. Oh, I've seen a lot of people die there too because on that little slant, it's really easy to accidentally jump way further than you mean to and land on the spikes over on the other side.
I mean, you've got 5 lives, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll be all right. These guys, if you throw your star at them, check it out, they zap it. But so you have to step on their little electrodes, and then they can't use them. They're cute. Cute and dead. The way I like them. And then
Man, you got some weird interests.
I guess, man. And then this guy, I'll let him throw his attack at me here. He throws a bunch of babies. He's King Electrode. Hit him 3 times.
I don't know if you're familiar with Attorney Tom, but
I'm not familiar with Attorney Tom. Who is that? What is that?
he's a YouTuber. There's an inside joke among fans of Attorney Tom that he is that he drop kicks babies.
Oh my gosh.
Or children, specifically. So that's what I think of when you say that.
That's amazing.
No.
All right, so you play the weird...
I keep doing the same thing and expecting something different to happen.
Yeah, he hurts you if you step on him, but if you shoot your star at him, you can flip him over.
I keep forgetting I have an attack.
You gotta jump and shoot it. There you go. And now watch us step on him. Step on him now. Isn't that freaking awesome? They programmed that in just in case.
No!
Oh, that one's still right side up.
Yeah, I'm just used to Mario controls.
Oh, yeah. This one's definitely different than Mario. It's more Mega Man than Mario. You can go ahead and hit continue so we're not going all the way back.
Yeah, I don't want to torture the viewers too much. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I'm pretty bad at video games, but...
The thing is, Cam, this is a particularly tough game, but I don't think this is a particularly tough part of this game.
No, it's really not.
I am making it harder by making you, have a conversation while you do it, though. All right. Good times.
It's not that hard.
I believe in you. You got this, bud.
I'm so out of it today.
So, what do you do for fun when you're not running the store? Because I know...
When I'm not running the store, sleeping probably.
You're always just those two? You don't have any downtime?
Not really. Not yet.
So, if it keeps you that busy, man, that makes it kind of like hard to have that like work-life balance. I guess that's to be expected.
It really is difficult. And 2 of my employees actually live with me.
Oh, okay.
For now, at least. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if they can stand me.
Fair enough, man.
But yeah, they moved out of state and they needed a job, and
okay.
They actually have good work ethic, so why not?
I mean, might as well. I mean, if you can trust them to run your store,
They come on time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have a car.
Okay. And you said you're pretty close to the store anyway, so...
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like a mile. That's
not too bad.
Pretty easy to do. I mean, walking is a lot better than driving on Redwood Road.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true, because the traffic there can be pretty horrible sometimes. So for this guy, I would recommend charge up your star, jump, and then at the top of your jump, throw that star. You bounce it further, because the star also follows the physics. So if you're moving forward, it'll go forward faster. If you're moving down, it'll bounce higher.
Interesting.
So a full jump seems to be sailing over him, so maybe just try a smaller jump. There you go. Nailed him. Now can you do it again? From here, you can just... There you go. Nail him. And then we got a little boat. A little fun little boat ride. Nothing could go wrong here, right?
Oh, no.
Just watch out for those windows. They're not friendly.
Yep. Yeah.
And they all do that. So I found running from the left side of the boat to the right side as you pass each window tends to help.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have any hobbies at all? You don't have any like personal like
gaming,
what do you do for fun?
Yeah.
That's good then.
Escape rooms are pretty fun.
Escape rooms are. I've done one in my life, and then that's it. But I'm like always worried that I'm going to embarrass myself.
They're a pretty great way, actually, to tell a person's personality.
That's what I'm worried about.
I like using them as a first date kind of deal. Oh,
okay, that's awesome.
You can find out really quickly if you can work together, or if you're going to hate each other's guts.
Well, I imagine in Utah, it's actually a lot easier to get somebody to agree to do an escape room for a first date. I feel like in most of the country, that's a little bit of a spooky ask for a first date. Don't you think?
I don't know.
In Utah, it's considered normal.
I'm too autistic to know about that.
I'm gonna get you to level 3 here. We're gonna keep going. We'll put me in the hot seat this time. I'll make it harder on me. So why don't you ask me some questions, Cam? We'll do a little role reversal here.
I mean, let's see. It's difficult. I remember that you ended up buying out some of this stuff from. No, you had the Game Changerz location in Orem.
Yeah, so I had Salt Lake and Orem. I bought Orem first because the previous owner wanted to make sure that I could do it successfully before he sold me the store.
Right.
And he was about to close that Orem store because it was not making him any money. So
how did you save it?
I got into personal debt.
Yeah, I've been there, currently doing that.
Yeah. Got into a lot of debt and then kept it afloat for a year. And then he was like, okay, well, looks like you've got it working. So he sold me the Salt Lake store. And then, I tried my best to run both as long as I could, but.
So they were already pre-established.
Yeah, both locations were.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I started working for him as a ground level employee back in 2013. So around the time my kid was born. You want to see a fun little Easter egg here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Second player. Grab that second player controller if you can do it without touching the cartridge and move it around here.
That's so fun.
That's the only guy in the entire game that does that. Ah! It's the only guy.
Cute.
And so, yeah, I started working for him in 2013 and I bought Orem in 2016. The second secret item is really hard to get, and I'm going to try it once, and if I fail, I'm just going to give up and
Have
finish
there been
the rest of the
other game owners of Game Changerz?
So
was it called Game Changerz?
So Game Changerz has kind of like a long history. We actually started off as a play and trade. Have you heard of those guys?
I have. I keep seeing their stickers everywhere, even though there hasn't been one in Utah for like 10 years.
And so play and trade is...
I wonder what happened to them all.
Well, they all started dying, right? And this guy named Jeff was a district manager for Play and Trade. He was in charge of probably about I think 8 or 9 different locations in the area.
Yeah, they had a ton of locations.
And he kind of saw the writing on the wall. He knew that the corporate was raising the franchise fees. And that, a lot of the stores were starting to struggle. And so he decided to quit as a district manager and just buy 2 locations to just go independent. And so in 2012, he took over 2 of the locations, changed the name to Game Changerz, went independent, and I started working for him the following year. And
man, he sold that real quick.
Well, I mean, he didn't sell it to me right away. I worked for him for 3 years before I bought it. But the reason he sold it wasn't because he wanted out. He had health issues, and his doctor told him that he couldn't handle the stress of it anymore. And so, yeah, he medically wasn't able to do it anymore. And so
we've definitely had employees like that too.
It happens, man. You can't control what life's going to bring you health wise. You just have to roll with the punches.
Absolutely.
Luckily, we got modern medicine. Otherwise, he wouldn't still be here today. But yeah, and so yeah, I've been running it since 2016, 2017, depends on when you start counting. Because technically, I bought it in November.
How much did you pay? Do you even remember?
Too much. I remember having no idea how to calculate that. There's this third secret item down here. You have to have a bomb when you get here or you can't get it. But I remember thinking, that I looked up on Google, how to value a business and tried my best to figure it out. And I remember when I first told him the number, his eyes got really big for what I thought it was worth, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh. And then he calmed down really quickly and was like, I think you're pretty close with that. Oh, man. But I was lucky that I didn't have to have all of that up front. I gave him my collection because I had 5 figures in sellable in games. And then he was able to sell that at the Salt Lake store as kind of my down payment, right? And then I paid him out of what the Orem store was quote unquote making. And then when I took over Salt Lake, I paid him out of what Salt Lake was making. And so it was kind of it was kind of a unique experience. I didn't have a bunch of money. I'm not from like a rich family. Oh my God, this is really hard to do when you're talking.
Right.
So I don't come from like wealthy background or anything. I didn't have like a bunch of assets or anything. I had a video game collection, and that was it. And I was able to luckily turn that into an opportunity. Get on that guy's head. There we go. He's mine now. Yeah, and that's kind of the Game Changerz story in a way.
So why keep Game Changerz instead of doing your own thing?
Because Game Changerz was is part of what I bought was the branding, right? And he put a lot of time and effort into that branding. And actually, Casey up at Numbskull actually came up with most of the branding and the marketing materials. And I think maybe even the name was his idea too.
Interesting. Honestly, that is something that I've really liked about Utah in general. I mean, the game store owners here are really nice. Everybody kind of works together for the most part. There are a couple stores,
Yeah,
that don't seem to get along with anybody.
It almost seems like there's a good list and a bad list.
Obviously,
I don't want to call anybody out. I don't want to be mean to anybody. I would love to be on good terms with all of the game stores if
absolutely.
I could. Some of them have kind of like made it clear that they don't feel the same way, and that sucks, right?
It does, because you don't want to compete with anybody, right? We should just be building up each other's business.
Well, we can have friendly competition. That's good for
absolutely.
the consumer, right? Like I want people to
like
live.
I don't want it to be a monopoly or anything.
Right, or an oligopoly or any of that kind of crap. We want to have good competition. We want to keep each other in check, right? If one of us is acting up and raising our prices or not respecting our product or being crappy with customer service, like the other ones can then, take them to task, right?
Right.
But in a friendly way, right? And I think it's what I have with most of the game stores in the area. I think especially with Casey, because I have a long history personally with Casey up at Numbskull, and then Bronson down at Retro Game Vault. I have a long history with him. He worked for me for a long time. He was my Orem store manager for a long time before we closed it down.
Bronson, weirdly enough, started his retail location only a couple months before I did. He was in November, and then I was in February of that next year.
Yeah, I remember you came by to try to see if you could maybe buy and take over the spot, and then Bronson ended up buying it instead.
Yeah.
Who is that person that you came in with? You said, was that your business partner when you came in to try to buy the store?
Honestly, I don't remember.
It was kind of like
who I came in with.
It was a little bit older guy. Not like old, but like a little on the older side. And I said, "Is that your dad?" And you were like, "No." I can't remember.
You know what? I think you just unlocked a memory for me.
Oh, did I?
Because I don't remember a lot.
Did I access the vault on accident?
But I'm wondering, weirdly enough, there was this one dude I met at a DI, because I've met several people at a DI for some reason.
It seems like a good place to meet people.
Somehow. I try to be friendly with everyone. So, I do manage to find people from time to time, and this guy was just like obsessed with trying to help me get my business going. And he had, in the past, some bookstores.
That's interesting. He was passionate about your business.
Yeah. He was a little bit much at times, unfortunately, but he had the right spirit, and so I always appreciated it. Eventually, it was something where it felt like I didn't have as much of a say in my own business, so I did have to let him go.
So he was kind of like taking the reins without permission.
Right, and that has happened a couple times where people they're not even necessarily meaning to. It's just...
they get all excited and worked up.
Right, and even sometimes, they feel like they have a bigger stake in it than they do. Because I'm like, I'm the one paying everything, you're just here, as support, basically,
Do you get people who think that they're also an owner even though they're not?
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that's kind of what that case was?
Yeah, sometimes employees, too. I've had where, it's just a, mismatch of ideas of how to manage and stuff like that, which is unfortunate, but I want people to be able to be happy working for me. And if it's not something where I think it's realistic, then I don't want them to have to torture themselves working.
Well, it's, it's difficult to find the right balance between like keeping like a certain amount of distance, but also like having them be part of the process.
Oh, absolutely. Because I really encourage people to share their ideas because I know that everybody can bring something to the table.
Right. But at the same time, you don't want to be...
It's hard when I'm like, I've already tried this. I love it. It was a great suggestion. It was a great suggestion because I tried it, but it didn't work.
Right. Well, and you don't want to be oversharing the troubles that the business is having, because that makes your employees uncomfortable and worried, right? So
a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, they also recognize, hey, this is a business that's just starting, and that's what they sign up for. And I make sure that everybody's aware, we're still new. Things are going to grow and change. And if that's something that you are not comfortable with, that's okay. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. Sometimes you're going to end up wearing a lot of hats because, we're just making stuff up as we go.
That's fair. So this little switch right here, it unlocks a secret area that has the next secret item.
Man, imagine missing that.
I know. So I've run into problems in the past where I have tried too hard, I think, to get my employees buy-in whenever I made a decision, or there were periods of time where I almost felt like it was like I was kind of refusing to make any big changes without talking to everybody first. Because
I kind of do that too, because it's important to get other people's opinions on this stuff.
But at the same time, it's not their responsibility.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to take their feedback into consideration, but I also don't want to get into a situation where,
you're dependent on people too, right?
Well, not necessarily that. I'm okay depending on my employees, but what I don't want is a bad situation where they feel like they keep offering suggestions, and every time we don't go with one of them, it hurts their feelings.
Yeah, no,
I've had that happen. Oh, geez. And I also don't want a situation where, if we have financial difficulties, even if it's just for a short while, right? I don't want that to be a source of stress for my employees.
Right.
Especially when they're not at work. If they're not at work, it's great if they want to be thinking about things that our store can be doing. These, if you push them together, they turn into one-ups.
Oh, cool.
It's great if they want to be thinking of ways to make the business better, but what I don't want them doing is being at home fretting about the business. That's my job. That is not their, geez, man. that is not for them to do, right? It's not, I don't want them stressing out over it. And it's really easy to accidentally stress out your employees.
Oh, absolutely.
By just oversharing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's not even a hard jump. I'm struggling so hard on this.
If you don't have your space organized too, it adds a lot of stress and bad energy too. So it's definitely a balancing act, I think.
There's a lot of things that can stress out the employees,
Yeah, they should learn how to do it better.
No, it's not that. Have you ever considered taking on a business partner or working with somebody else, or do you like the solo ownership kind of life?
It's a toss-up. There's pluses and minuses. I would love for somebody else to help take on the monetary aspect for sure.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I talked with Drew over at Galaxy of Games on the last episode, and they've got, they had 3 owners and now they're down to 2, but he's got a lot to say about not trying to do everything yourself and being able to delegate it. And I'm not sure that I'm able to do and see things the way that he does, but he swears by having multiple owners. He's this is the way to do it.
I've definitely talked to other game store owners that are like, you know what, if I could go back in time and not have a business partner, I probably would have done it. I'm kind of SOL right now, but...
Right, because once you're in business with somebody, if it's the wrong person, it's really hard to get out.
It really is. And so that's part of it for me. Mm-hmm. I do have a history, unfortunately, of finding the wrong people sometimes. And so I want to make sure that if I do share it with somebody, it's somebody that I really care about, and that's going to care about my business.
I am a really bad judge of character. I give everybody 7 chances. You know what I mean?
I've definitely gotten a lot better at it. I can usually tell in an interview for employees whether or not it's going to work out, whether or not I'm going to enjoy working with them.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of their character. Every once in a while, I have, you know, somebody that surprises me in one way or the other.
Right.
I've
but
had
you feel
some
like you
people,
got it pretty well down figuring out
I've
people.
had some people apply, and their application sucked. But I believe in giving everyone a chance.
Okay.
So I'm horrible to myself, and I'm the only hiring manager. I'm the only everything.
I feel that.
So I interview a lot of people. I do narrow it down. I have some like audio interviews or video interviews that I have people do on their own time.
Finding people is hard.
Yeah, it does help narrow down candidates because not everybody's willing to do it. I've found people, even when I wasn't excited about them, that were really great employees. But if I hadn't given them the chance, they wouldn't have ever worked for me. You know?
That's fair. I find whenever I put up a job posting that there are a lot of people who apply to everything.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm clearly posting for a retro video game store, and they have like all of their work experiences in like, you know, housekeeping or, you know, elderly care or that kind of thing, right? And then I get them in for an interview, right? And then they're like, "What's a Super Nintendo?"
I do have a fix for that.
Okay, what's your solution? Because I've come up with my own.
I have no idea if I can keep this public, but
well, just keep in mind that this will be going on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm open to hear it.
We do technically go through and test out people's knowledge of things. And, you know, I can't go too much into it because that'll give some people an unfair advantage. But it's basically just knowing the basics. Identification, basic knowledge of certain consoles.
So that's part of our interview process. I'll go through the store and be like, "Hey, what's this? What's that?"
Exactly.
Right?
And that's what we do in the interview as well. I have a couple little tools that I use that are pretty fun. We try to make the interviews fun, and people enjoy them for the most part. I try to tell people not to be too hard on themselves when they miss some, because almost everyone misses a couple.
It's very rare to find people that ace those kinds of tests. Yeah.
And honestly, I've had people ace it, and I've still not taken them in. And I've hired plenty that haven't aced it, that I have taken in, because it's not everything.
It's not, yeah.
And if I know that you can learn and you're willing to learn, that is more important to me. I also want to hire people that actually care about this stuff, because obviously customers want to be able to know that this is something that they actually want. When they're buying things, they want suggestions. They want people that actually care about gaming. And if you don't enjoy gaming, you're going to hate working at these stores. Oh my
gosh. Yeah, no, especially with some of the customers that come in that like they want to spend the next 30 minutes of their life telling you about some esoteric detail about some game that they enjoy. And you got to be the kind of person that also wants to hear it. Not just can hear it, but like wants to.
And I mean, sometimes you're maybe not interested in it. But we work really hard to make sure that everyone feels welcome and appreciated. And we give everyone that ability to be heard and to feel visible, because a lot of other places don't. And we just want to be able to create that space.
Okay.
And we always learn something new from people, too.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different kinds of people in the world, and they all have their own different life experiences and their own perspectives on things. So that's
Absolutely.
Nice. Have you ever had a customer that you've had to like ban from the store or kick out of the store?
I've had a couple.
Tell me, you don't have to give me names or anything. But
no, I don't even remember names. I can't tell you.
What kind of stuff did they do? Like, what was the... Oh, shoot, I went the wrong way. What kind of stuff happened?
So I've had a couple. We're usually pretty good. I know you asked earlier what makes us unique, and There's a couple things, and I want to talk about that first because it does have to do with other things later.
Okay.
We're a bit weird. We do have some kind of cosplay and furry type things because it's an underserved community.
I noticed like your logo guy is a wolf dude, and your name has Retro Game Wolf. And I've noticed in your store you do sell. It looks like you commission or not commission consignment some.
Yeah, we do. So we have consignment for local artists and creators, and we're always trying to get more. But we've got things like stickers, tails and paws that are handmade locally.
Yeah, those really stood out to me because there aren't
self-published board games.
There aren't any other video game stores in Utah that you can find like wolf paws. That's not a thing.
No, we wanted to be very unique. That's kind of our goal, is to be memorable, because a lot of these stores are very cookie cutter. And you know, at the end of the day, people are just like, well, this is the one that's closest to me. This is the one I'm gonna go to.
Just
versus,
based on distance.
Yeah, like I want to be interesting. I want to take risks and make mistakes, you know?
Do something different.
But that community has always been underserved. There's not really any way for people to find stuff like that in the wild.
Well, there's no stores that sell that.
No. And so, I mean, your only real options are going online on some place like Etsy, or, you know, the sketchy, like, contacting people on Reddit or something.
Or conventions. There are sellers at conventions.
True, but those are always more expensive. We try to keep our prices low and affordable for people.
That's good.
Our prices are generally about a third of the price of items at a convention. And our artists are still able to make enough money on it to be worth it for them.
Okay.
But we're also the only LGBT-owned game store in Utah.
At least openly.
Yes.
You never know.
Owned and operated, I should say. But yeah.
You never know about some of these owners.
You never know, no. Everybody's kind of quiet about it, but we...
It is Utah.
We try to be very open and accepting, and it is a risk. Obviously, you know, doing stuff like this is going to alienate some people, but it's also going to make other people feel more at home, more like they can exist without judgment. And that's something that's really important to me, because I didn't always have that. So I want to be able to provide that for people. That's why we have events every week.
You do a lot of events at your store, right?
Yeah, we allow the community to also do events in our store for free.
What are
long
some
as they also don't charge anything, because I don't want to,
right,
you know, provide a way for them to do things. We've done movie nights. We've done every week we have a game night, so people can play any board or video game from our shelves.
Nice.
And people really come together. We get a lot of people going to those. It's just on Tuesdays too. It's a very random day of the week, but
well, if you pick a slow day to do an event, that kind of like helps.
It helps
balance.
a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, yeah, we get a little bit more money on those days too, because there's more people in.
Right, exactly. That's kind of the whole point.
And so that does help me decide to keep them, but it's more about creating that community and creating a third place for people. That's why we have a couch set up, so people can play games whenever they want. They can test anything on our shelves as well before they buy it.
That's nice. Not a lot of places do that, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Because stuff gets wrecked.
Oh, absolutely. But a lot of our customers are great. I have very little issues with theft.
That's good.
People are generally good people. I automatically weed people out like all the Karens because we have things like our LGBT setup and all these things that weird them out enough that they don't want to show up.
They just self-filter.
Exactly. And so I really like that aspect. And I think if I took that away, I would be kind of like everyone else, and I don't really want to.
You want to have your own unique thing going. I get that. I personally, I found that like my strategy when it comes to any of that kind of thing is just to not pick sides, you know what I mean? So like if you're LGBT, if you come in with rainbow colored hair, you're cool, you're welcome in the store. If you come in with a MAGA hat, you're still welcome in the store.
Oh, absolutely. And we do work with that too. We never turn people away unless they are there to make other people feel unwelcome. And so that's where we get into our bans and things.
I judge people based off their behaviors for sure.
So we've had people that have been not great to our employees or to our customers, and I don't stand for that. I will always stand up for my employees and my customers.
What are some examples of things that people have gotten banned for? You give me one and I'll give you one.
Things like harassment. We've definitely had theft, and those are usually bans on that kind of thing.
Well, you got to be an instant ban for theft. You can't tolerate theft.
And if we know that something is stolen that they try to sell us, we ban them from ever being able to sell to us again.
That's a good policy.
Because I don't want to be involved in that, and I won't know what's stolen and what's not.
Right. Well, you got to look out for yourself and for the community too, because if you're the kind of place where people can bring stolen stuff, not only does that like encourage people to steal stuff, but also like if something gets claimed on pawn hold because, you know, it was stolen and then reported, you're just out that, you know what I mean?
No, you don't get that money back. And I don't think a lot of people understand, like, you just lose all of that money.
Yeah, it's really not a good time for anybody. And especially the guy that did the stealing, because they go to jail, you know, like they get caught 99% of the time.
Yeah, and I mean, a month or two ago, we had a PS5 Pro. It was brand new. Somebody just took it out of our case and ran off with it.
Just snagged it.
They just took it. And there was a lot of people in there. They were really ballsy.
That's crazy, man. I did have a guy reach over our glass counter and open the door on the back and pull a Vita out and take that home. That was crazy.
How the heck did that happen?
I actually had a guy steal my cell phone once. I had it charging.
What?
Yeah. But that was quite some time ago. We've gotten to the point now where we've got a pretty solid customer base of people who don't suck. And that's been nice.
Yeah, no, people are super honest, decent people that come into our store. So I don't have to worry about it too much. I can count on my fingers the amount of times I've had something stolen in the 4 years.
I'm going to tell you about a guy that we banned, though. I'm not going to use his name, but this is one heck of a story. You ready for this?
Absolutely.
So there was this guy who was a reseller, which is fine. We deal with resellers all the time.
Right.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's not good.
Testing.
Yep, still hear ya. So can't have an episode without technical difficulties. It just doesn't work. So the breaker got flipped and we lost our game capture. Let's just pick up where we left off, I guess.
I don't even remember where that was.
I was telling you about this one guy that we had to ban. So he was check this out. He was going down to our Orem location.
Right.
He was buying a game in better condition than the one he already had, and then coming back and returning his crappier looking version for the full amount back in store credit, because we had like a 7-day change your mind, get your full amount back policy, right?
Do you still have that?
For most people. There's a couple people we've had to kibosh it. But
so I can't afford to do that.
So we caught him. We caught him doing it, and we told him, hey, I almost said his name. Hey, you can't do that. If you want to do a label upgrade, we can do that for you. We charge a little bit for that. Not a ton, but if you have like a copy of Tetris on the NES, it's a $10 game, and yours has the label completely like damaged, right? Then we'll charge you $3 to swap it for our good-looking copy, right? Not a big deal. It's easy to do.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
He's like, oh, okay, well, thanks for understanding. I won't do it again. I promise. I'll be good.
And he did it again.
Even worse. He thought that he was so clever. He started buying games from our Orem store.
And then doing it in Salt Lake?
Returning them in Salt Lake. And they were like, hey, is it damaged? And the Salt Lake guys were like, yeah. And they're like, that's he's doing the same thing again. So we had to ban him the second time. And then he came back like 2 or 3 more times to try to like, can you lift the ban? I'm like, bro, we caught you red-handed, then gave you another chance, and then caught you red-handed again.
It's like, basically
it's not
theft.
happening. Yeah, 100% it's theft. Yeah, it's theft by deception. 100%. And so yeah, we have to ban people who steal from us. We had to ban the guy that reached over the counter and grabbed the Vita. They had to obviously ban the guy that stole my cell phone. And we didn't ban him, but we did have to kick out a guy who was, there was a woman in our store shopping, and this guy came in and he's like, hi, do you want to go for a ride in my car? It's really fast.
Oh, no.
I got a lot of money. And I was just like, bro, you gotta stop. You can't be doing that in the store. So and then we had to, we didn't have to kick this guy out. He kicked himself out, and I haven't seen him since. But we did have a couple of customers come in very, very angry that we didn't fix cell phones anymore, because I guess they had waited out in the parking lot for 2 hours for us to open, because they got there 2 hours before we opened
for some reason.
And they wanted us to fix their cell phone, and they came in, and Sam was like, hey, I'm sorry, we haven't done cell phones in like 9 years. We're not able to help you. There's a place just around the street that'll help. And this girl was like screaming and like you guys suck. You guys fix cell phones. You fixed mine last month. I'm like, that's not true. And I guess one of our customers decided it was his fight, and so he started getting up in their face.
Oh no!
And flashed a gun.
Oh no!
Yeah, and so haven't seen any of them back in the store, but we had to like give the footage to the police. So. Luckily, that's not a common occurrence.
That's crazy.
That is not a thing that happens often.
No,
but
holy
cow,
pretty normal in your store wherever I go.
Yeah, it's a
Smells
chill
like
vibe.
Subway, but
yeah. Oh man, I've been trying to fight that Subway smell so hard, and it just nothing beats it. I got air fresheners that I've like cycled out on a regular basis, and it does nothing. We used to pay a company like $30-$40 a month to come in and like make sure we had like the professional air fresheners, and it always smells like Subway in there, because with the moment they start baking the bread, or like the tuna starts going bad or whatever, like they do like a tuna melt. Oh my God, that comes right through the walls.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when we were in Lehigh, we were basically bordering the Auntie Anne's, so people would smell pretzels.
Oh, that's a good smell, though.
It is a decent smell, and sold a lot of pretzels.
You know, I assumed when people came in and said it smells like Subway in here, that it was because they knew there was a Subway next door. But a surprising number of people are like, I tell them, yeah, the Subway next door. They're like, oh, there's a Subway next door. Like, they just know that smell.
Yeah.
Like, that is just, they got that locked in. They know that exactly what Subway smells like.
It's weird that it has a specific smell.
Right? You'd think every Subway would be a little bit different, but nope, I guess not. So it's crazy to me. But have you ever had to deal with a customer that was just being really obnoxious and wouldn't leave you alone? Like, because, you know, sometimes
we've had several. Yeah.
What's your strategy with that?
You just really need a lot of patience. I am not the person that's just going to kick you out, because again, not everyone has friends. Not everyone has somebody to talk to. And if you are not doing it on purpose, you just are excited to exist and you like having someone to talk to, I'm happy to listen. You know, it might not always be the most enjoyable thing, because maybe I don't care about the conversation, like what we're talking about specifically. But I'm happy to know that they've got someone that they can be with and not have to feel alone.
I have a little confession to make. We have a customer. It's a regular at our store. And
I don't let them do it on the phone, though.
Good.
I will say, I've had some people that will call the store and then try to talk like they're friends for an hour, and I can't do that.
Fair. We have a guy that's a regular. He comes in, and we call him Batman. We don't call him that to his face, but we do occasionally call him Batman. And he has this this habit of coming up to our front register and unloading all of his personal effects onto the counter, and then just kind of milling about there. So it's really hard for other customers to get to the register. And then he'll be there for like an hour, and he'll start up conversations with the other customers about whichever Pokemon plushie he's brought in that day. And he's like the stereotypical, like if you're going to see a video online of somebody complaining about a customer at their game store, it's going to be about him. And he
have not had that guy yet.
My strategy with that was just to tell him, hey man, like, we're happy to help you out. We're like, we'll sell him stuff and we'll take his trade-ins. Right. But man, I've been trying really hard to get him to go to your store instead.
Yeah, I know.
He says he stopped by, but it's too far for him.
Oh no. It is a lot more comfortable. If customers come in and they're not customers, they're just always just there to hang out.
And they never want to buy or sell anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And they are being obnoxious. They're keeping employees from being able to do their jobs consistently for long periods of time. That would be something where I'm just like, hey,
fair.
Please stop. I can't.
Do you say that straight to their face?
I can't necessarily. I don't know what I don't have to do it very often. But
I usually go on autoresponder whenever somebody's just going and they just want to hear themselves talk. I'll just be like, yeah, right, and I'll just keep doing whatever else other thing that I'm doing, and like it just washes over me. Like it doesn't go. It goes in one ear and out the other.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't always, unfortunately, work that way. Sometimes customers have to be babysit.
Dude, do people drop their kids off in your store and then disappear?
They did in Lehigh.
They do that to me all the time.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad because there was a snow cone place that opened up across from us. And this lady just had her kids there. And it was summer, so she would just drop them off for hours.
And they would just mill about in your store.
And I mean, I think she was like a single mom and there was not much she could do. So, there was something where I'm like...
Oh, hold on. I was a single dad and I never would just drop my kid off somewhere and not be there with him.
It's not great. But it was within viewing distance, basically.
I guess.
But I still was not happy about it. I did have to talk to her about it. Actually, unfortunately, she ended up passing away.
Oh, geez, man.
During the time I was there. Which was crazy.
Holy crap, dude.
It was insane. She was like 30 or 40 years old.
Yeah, not nearly old enough.
No, it was very surprising. That snow cone place just disappeared pretty quickly after that.
I bet, yeah.
But it was shocking. She was so nice. They would give out snow cones to us every once in a while. Like they were decent people, and so I tried to help when I could. Tried to make things fun for the kids every once in a while because I could tell she just really needed it, and she didn't have much because that side of the mall just didn't get a lot of traffic and a lot of customers. So I don't think she had like the monetary means.
Not close to like a food court or anything.
And she didn't always have the family that she could go and be like, can you please watch my kids for the day? And so I just, it's...
Gotcha. So
if I can be helpful to them and it's not something that's all the time, I think that was something that I just felt like she needed. So
gotcha. I can understand that. Like if she's trying her best to make ends meet and she's, having to work, it's not great, but I can get behind that.
I mean, especially with her passing too, I just feel better knowing that I was at least able to help alleviate some of that pain.
That's nice. There's the silver lining there, at least. I get customers that just drop their kids off and then go watch a movie. And I'm like, just crazy. Go watch a movie with your kids, please.
Honestly, I don't mind it as much if the kids are genuinely excited to be in the store. They're not obnoxious, especially if they buy things. Like I have kids that come into my store every once in a while, and they're awesome. Like they recognize that it's a small business. They always buy something.
Well, at that point, they're a customer.
Even if it's snacks or a drink or something, because they want to support it. Like they don't want to be the obnoxious kids that end up doing stuff. And I love that. I love those kids. I mean, even if they don't buy something every time, they're just super nice. They're good to deal with. I wish all kids were like that.
That's awesome. Well, and if they're a customer, if they're in there to, shop, that's great. Right. I just don't understand when people drop off their 9-year-old and put them in charge of their 6-year-old and then don't show back up to get them for like 2-3 hours. That's crazy.
No,
to me.
I can't live with that. If they're just abandoned for like an hour, I have no contact information or anything, I think I would just probably call the cops and be like, hey, child abandonment.
I haven't had to do that yet, but I have wondered if it was the right thing to do multiple times.
Because it's just at that point where I'm like, I don't know if they're in a safe situation.
Who knows at that point? Yeah.
I don't know if the parents are coming back. If they don't have any idea what's going on, like, I want them to be able to be safe and in a spot where they're not.
Yeah, for real.
In danger, because I can't babysit. I mean, a lot of times it's just one person in the store at a time.
You're already doing a job. You got
I can't do everything, and it's hard.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man.
I don't think a lot of people understand how difficult it is to run a store by yourself.
No, especially solo. It's especially like when you're dealing with, somebody's doing a trade and somebody wants to buy something at the same time, and you have to balance that out. And like trades can take a while sometimes.
Oh my gosh. No, we've had some trades take a couple hours.
Yeah, it happens for sure.
Some people have traded in hundreds of items.
Right. And you got to go through and scan each one.
I just have to tell them sometimes, hey, look, this is going to take us a couple days.
I mean, that can happen.
I pay out as much as I possibly can.
Right.
So I'm going to research stuff.
And make sure
unless I really don't like you. Or I think I've got a good idea of what something's worth and I can just give you a ballpark and deal with all of the paperwork and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think...
Figure that later, but...
Yeah, like ballparking can work in some situations, but you don't want to do it often.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do test those more expensive items too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to get hosed.
No.
We had somebody trade in a Lufia too that had like a Donkey Kong Country board in there, and I'm like, Donkey Kong, why? What scenario led you to think that this was a good move? Like,
I mean, I had a Final Fantasy 2 on SNES, I think, and somebody put Madden in it. Thankfully, I knew that when I got it. It was in a lot with a lot of other games. He was very honest.
Okay, so
it.
He wasn't trying to hose you. That's good.
Was he actually the only game I didn't test?
Oh no,
because all the other ones were like great, expensive titles. Like I had Kirby, I had Zelda, I had great games. But Final Fantasy would have been great too. If it wasn't Madden 08 or whatever.
The worst game to put in the Final Fantasy too, man. Like,
obviously not Madden 08, but
whichever Madden it is, yeah. All right. Well, I really appreciate you, sharing a lot of your experiences with running your game store. It sounds like it's been, a little bit similar, but wildly different than some of my experiences running Game Changers. So it's always nice to see other ways that things can go and like kind of other perspectives on stuff.
Yeah, for a while, I really regretted moving out of my first spot, but I would not have learned nearly as much as I have moving around a bit. The spot is permanent, but we would have been coasting on a terrible layout.
Fair, man, fair.
We wouldn't have learned almost anything, and it's really nice to be able to say, look, we have stuff that we've learned. We know what works and what doesn't. For whatever reason, I keep Pokemon more than a couple days sometimes instead of instantly.
Well, that can happen to us too. Yeah, but I mean, it's good to see that you've got like a good location that's working well for you, and I think it is a good location. Do you want to give a little like last second shout out, maybe like a little 5-second commercial for everybody who's watching about Retro Game Wolf?
Gosh, that sounds so vague. I don't even know what that looks like.
Okay, I'll give you an example. All right, everybody. This episode, just like every other episode, is brought to you by Game Changerz in Salt Lake. That's my store. I own it. It's pretty cool, I think. I might be a little biased. Check it out on Game Changerz with a Z at the bottom, .com. So gamechangers.com. Come check us out. Why don't you try something like that for Retro Game Wolf?
Sounds good. I mean, obviously, we sell board games. I always say board games first, but we're a video game store first.
It's just alphabetical.
Yeah, it is alphabetical. Board games, video games, consoles, movies, including Laserdisc for some reason.
And where are you guys located again?
We're in Taylorsville on Redwood Road, 6357 South Redwood Road.
Awesome.
Come check us out. We also have a fully purchasable inventory on our website at retrogamewolf.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again for coming out today, man. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I really appreciate you, muscling through it with me.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate you coming out, man. Thanks a bunch.